Hello everyone, welcome to your channel CodeVish. In the previous video, we discussed about Kubernetes architecture and all the different components needed to set up a cluster. So in this upcoming video, we are going to discuss about installation of kubectl and Minikube. So let's go ahead. We need to follow the steps provided in the video. So we will go through them one by one. So what we need to do, so first we need to go to Google and we need to check kubectl install on Mac, because I am using Mac. So same way, if you are using Windows, then you can search for kubectl install on Windows. If you are using Debian, you can use the respective OS in this search line. So as you can see, we got the below results. So first link is install and set up kubectl on Mac OS and Kubernetes, and this link is provided by kubernetes.io. so we will click this link. So now you can see we have installed tools. Then under install tools, we have installed and set up kubectl on Linux. If you are a Linux user, you can click on this link and you can follow the steps provided in the links. Then as I am using Mac OS, so definitely I am going to click on this link. So now you can see the page has been opened. So now there are different variation by which we can install the kubectl on Mac OS. So there are 3 steps. So first is install kubectl binary with curl on Mac OS. You can use also the homebrew, and also you can use the Mac ports to install kubectl. So let's click here. So now you can see that we have 2 types of processor under Apple laptops. So first one is Intel and second is Apple Silicon. So I'm using Intel processor. So what I'm gonna do, I will copy this line. I will open the item. You can also use different types of terminal. You can use a default terminal, but I prefer to use item, so that's why I'm using item. Copy this line and press enter. So let's wait for some time till it completes the download and installation. So now we can see that it has downloaded and installed kubectl on the Mac OS. So how can we verify? To verify kubectl download, you can type kubectl version. So you can see it is saying kubectl is not installed, there is some problem. Okay, no problem. So we will go through these steps. So now in the second step, we have to validate the binary. It's optional, but I prefer to validate every binary I download. I have copied the command and I will again paste the command and I will give the enter. So it has validated the binary. So now we are going to follow the third step, that is I am going to validate the kubectl binary against the checksum file. So let's copy and paste, hit enter. So now we can see that the expected outcome is kubectl OK. So we can also see here that if it is valid, then output will be kubectl OK. If there are some problems and it is not able to validate the kubectl binary against the checksum file, it will give us kubectl failed, and also this warning we may get. Now we need to make the kubectl binary executable, so we need to provide certain permissions. So I'll copy this command, I will paste here and I will press enter. So now we have provided the execute permission for the kubectl. Okay. So under fourth step, according to the documentation, we have to move the kubectl binary to a file location on your system path. So to do that, we need to use these commands. So I will just copy these two commands and I will paste here and I will enter. So I need, because I am using sudo, so obviously I need to provide the password. So I am going to do that. Okay, so we have completed this step. Okay, so next step, we have to ensure the version we are installing is up to date or not. So we can copy this command, kubectl version -- client. So we will copy and paste it here and we will hit enter. So now we can see that the client version major is 1, minor is 23, git version it is using 1.23.4, and also it is using some git commit. So all these values are not relevant for us as of now. We can discuss these details in later tutorials. So main thing is the major and minor. So we can see that version it is using is 23. No problem. If you want to use the detailed view of the version with the many multiple details, you can copy the command kubectl version client output equal to YAML. So it will give the same output in YAML format. So you can see same details what we got earlier in the JSON format is now it is in YAML format. Okay, no problem. We will once again verify it. So we can see kubectl, which kubectl. So we can see that our kubectl is installed under user local bin and kubectl folder. One more thing to note, this path can differ based upon the OS you are using. So if you are using Mac OS, then it will be, the path will be the same. For Windows it can differ. Okay, so now we have installed Kubernetes on our system. I will clear all the contents. So we have installed Kubernetes and kubectl on our system, but we need something where we can start the cluster. So for that, what we are going to use, we have to install Minikube. So Minikube is basically we can say it is a utility which helps us to run a single node cluster on our system. So the Minikube basically, as we told, we can run the cluster in containers, we can run the cluster over our VMs. So as we are using kubectl now, so I would prefer to install Docker first, and then we will be installing Minikube. So it will be easy to set up, and then we can perform a set of steps, so which we can see it now. So let's move. Okay, so again what we will do, we will open a new tab, then we will type Minikube install on Mac. So first link is minikube.size.kubernetes.io, and here we can see it is Minikube start. We will click on this link. So let it open. It's taking some time. Maybe because of internet connectivity, so let's wait. Okay, so the page has been opened. So to install Minikube, so there are some prerequisites. So we need two or more CPUs, we need 2 GB of free memory, we need 20 GB of free disk space, and most important, we should have a good internet connection. And also, as I told earlier, that we might need container and virtual machine manager such as Docker, HyperKit, Hyper-V, KVM, Parallels, Podman, VirtualBox, or VMware Fusion or Workstation. So for installation, so as you can see, for different operating system we can use different types of operating system versions compatibility for Minikube. So for example, there is Linux, Mac OS, Windows, then there is architecture. So it has different combination by according to which we can customize and we can download the respective Minikube installation file. So for example, my system is Mac OS. I will click Mac OS, and I'm using x86-64. I will click here. So I want a stable Minikube. I will click here. Then if I want to use Homebrew, I can click on Homebrew and it can give me this command, brew install Minikube. But I prefer to use binary downloads. So what I'm gonna do, I will copy this command. I will open my terminal. I will click here and I will hit enter. So now it will start downloading the binary, and as we are using sudo, so definitely we need to provide the password. So let me provide the password and enter. Okay, so now it has downloaded the binary. Now second step, we need to start the cluster. So I will copy this command, Minikube start, and then I will hit enter. So now it will try to start the Minikube cluster, but as I told you that it will definitely need any container or any VM to start a cluster on where it will start. So now we will go to this log trace and we will try to find out what is the error we got. So now you can see it is saying unable to pick a default driver. Here is what was considered in preference order. So first it will try to check for Docker, then alternatively it can try to check for HyperKit, VMware, Parallels, VirtualBox and Podman. So now what we can do, we can first try to check whether we have Docker available on our system or not. So I will give Docker -v. So we can clearly see that we have already installed Docker version 20.10.12. So why it's not starting? Because we have Docker available in our system, but we haven't started the Docker runtime. So I will click Docker app. Let's wait. So it is saying Docker desktop needs privileged access. So I will say OK. It will ask for my password because it needs privileged access. I entered the password. So I will accept the terms. It is trying to download Docker desktop. Okay, let's see what is happening. So we can see that Docker desktop is starting. So let's wait for some time. It may take up some time because of the number of CPUs provided, but I'm using default configuration, so we can wait for some time. So now we can see that Docker desktop is running. So what we can do, I will clear all the commands. Okay, so it is saying we can see it later, not a problem. Okay, so I will again give Minikube start to start a Minikube single node cluster. So let's see what happens now. So we can see that it has started downloading the respective images. So let's wait for some time. It may take up some time based upon your internet speed. So let's wait. Okay, so we can see it has downloaded 100%. So let's wait for some more time to start the cluster. So one more important thing, so if you are wondering how I have configured the appearance of my item, so I can make another video on that, so that it can help you to configure your item like this. So you can see we have that memory percentage, how much memory it is using, and then the download speed, upload speed, and a lot more. Okay, coming back to the Minikube. So now we can see after completing the download, it is creating Docker container. So it is using 2 CPUs and close to 2 GB of memory. So now it has created the Docker container and it is preparing for Kubernetes version 1.23.3 on Docker 20.10.12. So preparing Kubernetes means it is preparing the Kubernetes cluster. Okay. So now we can see that kubectl is now configured to use Minikube cluster and default namespace. So we can go here, we can see in Kubernetes Minikube is configured. So what we can do, we can type one command, Minikube dashboard. Okay, so let's wait. So it will open a browser window where you can see the Minikube dashboard. So as we don't have anything deployed over Minikube cluster, so that's why it is showing there is nothing to display here. And we can deploy any containerized app and other namespace or whatever we want. Okay, going back to our Chrome window for Minikube installation. So now we will interact with the cluster. So what we can do, we can run this command. So it will get all the pods available in our cluster. So I will just open a new tab and I will paste this command and I will hit enter. So now you can see there are different ports available. So these are actually configured already by default, so that's not a problem for us. So now if you want to set your alias, you can also set your alias in your if you are using ZSH, then you might change in .zshrc. Otherwise that's not a problem, you can type the whole command, but it is for the sake of saving the time. Okay, so as we have already used this Minikube dashboard command to get to the Minikube dashboard, so now we will deploy some sample application, and then we can see how we are interacting with the cluster. So what I'm gonna do, I will say kubectl create deployment. I will type the name of our deployment as Minikube. Then I will use the same image, and okay, no problem. I will create this deployment, and also I need to expose the deployment. So what I'm gonna do, kubectl expose deployment hello Minikube, and the type will be node port. We will discuss about the types of services in our later videos, but as of now you just understand how we are interacting with the cluster. I will hit this. So we can see that our service hello Minikube has been exposed. So we'll go to here, and then we can see in our Minikube dashboard that hello Minikube deployment is created, and it has only one pod as of now, and it has only one replica set, so not a problem. Okay, so now we can run this command kubectl get services hello Minikube. So what it will do, it will list down all the services used in hello Minikube deployment. I will copy the command, I will paste it in the terminal, and I will hit enter. So now you can see that the name of service is hello Minikube, the type is node port, and also the cluster IP it is using this, and the port it is using 8080. And because it is a node port, so definitely the node port will range between 30,000 to somewhere between 32,764. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, that's why it is giving at 31,734. So now what we can do to access the service, we can use Minikube service hello Minikube command. I will copy this command. Again I will go to terminal. I will just clear all the content from our terminal. I will paste the command here, and I will hit enter. Okay, so we can see as soon as we hit the enter after the service command, it has opened another browser window where it will be giving us some results. Let's wait for some time. So now you can see it has started tunnel for service hello Minikube. It is opening service in default browser, and I'm using Safari as default browser. Because you are using a Docker driver on Darwin, the terminal needs to be open to run it. Okay, it's adding some time. Okay, let's let's rerun the command. Okay, I'm not sure what's causing it. Let's wait for some time.
Let's check on Docker dashboard. Okay. Let me check what it is causing the issue.
Okay, not a problem. We can use the alternatively command port forward. Now we can see it here. So let's copy the command and hit here. So now we can see our application is available at localhost 780 because we are forwarding the ports, so that's why we can use 780. Let's enter here. So now you can see that we got some response, so our service is up. Okay, not a problem. So now what we can do, so there are load balancer deployments available, so we can copy these two commands. So basically it is in the first command, it is creating the deployment, the name is balanced, and it is using the image kubernetes.gcr.io/ecoserver 1.4, and then in the second command it is exposing the deployment and giving the type as load balancer and port as 8080. So I will just clear it. Let's enter the commands. So now the deployment has been created and the service has been exposed. Okay, so now what we can do, we can create the Minikube tunnel in another terminal window. So I will open another terminal window like this, and I will hit this command. So now we can see that tunnel has successfully started, and it is now starting the tunnel for service balanced. That is the name of our service. Okay, so now to find the routable IP, we can run the below command and examine the external IP column. So we can copy this command. We'll open another window. We will say kubectl get services balanced. Now we can see that the external IP is 127.0.0.1, so that is a local host. So now our deployment is available at external IP colon 8080. So we can say external IP colon 8080. Let's enter it, and now we got the same response that we received earlier. So now our deployment is successfully completed, and also the service has been successfully exposed. Okay, so now how we can manage our cluster using Kubernetes and Minikube. So now if you want to pause the Kubernetes without impacting deployed application, you can run this Minikube pause command. So I will just complete this. I will clear and I will paste this command and I will hit enter. So now we can see that it is pausing node Minikube, and also it has paused 18 containers in kube system, dashboard, tree operator and storage cluster. If you want to unpause the Minikube instance, you can use this Minikube unpause commands. So